Alright, so her name is Xena. And Xena is a German Shepherd that we adopted from an adoption agency in Minnesota. I've never really wanted to have a dog. We've had some when we were growing up. We would typically watch these for a short time and then give them back. So we were really good dog sitters in my family. We had cats, dogs, and everything. When we had our kids, we thought about having a dog just as a companion, but we were pretty busy. And we went with different animals, fish, and we also had gerbils and hamsters. These worked really well. Kids liked them, they took care of them, sort of, and it worked out okay. Now, as the kids get older, my wife and I had talked and considered maybe it's time to get a dog. The kids are getting more responsible, maybe, but still just wasn't quite right, wasn't quite the time. So we typically go to our local pet store to get the food for the hamsters and bedding, and usually there's animals there as far as adoption animals, and we would go and talk with them, pet the kitties and pet the dogs and leave. This one time there was a dog there, and my eldest kind of took a fancy to her, and the rest of the family was like, maybe. I was still, no, we're not going to get a dog. She begged and asked for a minute and dropped the subject. The next week we went back there again, and the dog was still there. And the pleading was a bit stronger, my wife was a little bit weaker, I got a bit weaker, and we said, all right, fine, we'll get the dog. And with the adoption, you put your name on the list, and we, thank the Lord, we're number 3 on the list. We're not going to get the dog. I was so happy. I didn't want the dog. So we went home. Kids were thinking we're going to get the dog, yay. And Daddy was thinking we're not going to get the dog, yay. So it was good for everybody, a win-win all around. Lo and behold, we all forgot about it. And then 3 weeks later, we get a phone call that, oh, your number's up. No, the other 2 people fell off the list. They said no, and you get the dog. Huh. Okay. So we make it back to the store, get the paperwork done, pay the money, buy all the paraphernalia, leashes, collars, bedding, food, all that stuff. Oh, and the poop bags. I have to forget those. So when I get the dog to the house, everybody's really very helpful. We had a great team event. All 6 of us were watching the dog. We were caring for her. She had a great time. We had a great time. We'd go outside, we'd train her, we'd teach her her name, she'd follow us around, and that worked well for a month. And then people got bored. They stopped taking care of her, stopped taking her out, and who was left to take her out? That's me. And eventually we just tethered her outside. She would go outside, have a potty and have a poop, and then come back inside. I would take her for walks, take her on the lake, but everybody else would just kind of put her out on the leash. And most of the time they'd pick up her poop when she was done. She was a shepherd, so she had pretty good sized poops. Sometimes I'd get home from work and, there's 1, 2, 3 out there. Nobody picked it up today. Okay, that's neat. And this kind of persisted. Winters would come and go, and you couldn't pick it up very well in the winter because it would dig down into the snow and that would freeze. So by springtime, there'd be hundreds out there to have to pick up. Now remember, this is, also, there's a lot, she shed a lot. And I do the laundry, and her hair would get on our clothes. And I think, hey, we'll wash it out. First day of laundry, we wash, and you come out of the dryer, and all the hair's still there. Nothing washed out. Turns out I had to roll everything with a tape for years. Every laundry day, Friday and Saturday, I would be down in the laundry room, rolling socks, rolling pants, rolling shirts, inside and out to get the hair off. And that would take me extra hours to do that. So I'm picking up the poop, picking up the hair, and I'm walking the dog, and the dog takes a fancy to me. Anytime I'm gone, the dog whines and waits for me. Anytime I come home, I'm the one the thing goes after. I can't stand the dog. Now remember, this is my daughter's dog. This is Ellie's dog. And as soon as we get the dog, Ellie's 17, she goes off to college, and the dog stays at my house. This happens for 4 years. She moves from college to college, goes from dorm to dorm. None of them can take a dog, so she has the dog at my house. Graduates from college, and she's gonna get her own apartment. Yay! But the apartment doesn't take dogs, so the dog stays at my house. A year later, the new apartment she gets in will allow a dog, so she finally takes the dog with her. And I was surprised that I wasn't as relieved as I thought I would be. I think I kind of needed to pick up her poop. I think I needed to know that. I needed to know where she was. And having her at my daughter's is actually a bit more difficult than I thought, because I still have to know where she's at. And dare I say I miss the dog? No, I can't say that. But the last year or so, I've been paying a bit less attention to the dog, and so she's been getting more attached to my wife, and not as excited to see me as before. And now that she's with my daughter, she's even less excited to see me, which is okay. I'm okay with that. But still, I watch with bated breath when my daughter puts up posts about the dog. There was a doggy camera that I had to watch. So I'm still interested in watching out for her. So despite my loathing, I still want to know. So now we have a cat. And the cat barfs. And I have something else to pick up.